Malaysian Agricultural, Horticulture and Agro-Tourism Expo or MAHA is an biannual agricultural expo that held at MAEPS, Serdang, Selangor. The expo is not limited just to agriculture. MAHA showcased the products related to foodstuff, tourism and unique culture of each Malaysian states. How important MAHA was in Malaysia's history? Let's walk around Agricultural Expo and understand the importance of MAHA in shaping the nation's history. Beyond its name, MAHA is attracting non-farmers as the expo exhibits latest farm machines, food to try and animals, both edible and inedible. Since I am more an armchair historian rather than a typical reviewer in YouTube that started a video with "Hey guys," I would prefer to talk about the story of MAHA rather than what is the main attractions you must visit this year. Thus, we need to look back into the time when MAHA was in its original inception. The original MAHA was held as a kind of a county fair to exhibit the local produce and the latest agricultural technology. In an era where television was non-existent and radio was a luxury, the expo was a chance to the people to sell their produce, discover the latest technology and enjoy the entertainment. The name MAHA was derived from its organizer, Malayan Agro-Horticulture Association or MAHA, that was established in 1922. The first MAHA Expo was held in 1923 and was held annually. In MAHA magazine, the expo also was called the Malayan Exhibition. The today's generation might not realize how big was MAHA in the 20th century British Malaya. According to MAHA magazine 1941, MAHA was chaired by the Sultans of the Malay states to promote the agricultural innovation and entrepreneurship, especially among the Malays. Unlike the modern day MAHA, the expo then was also held at district and state level. To be eligible to join the national level MAHA in Kuala Lumpur, the contestants need to win the district or state level to be sponsored to the national level. In an era where travel beyond the nearest town is uncommon and unaffordable to many, MAHA was cancelled during World War II and resumed afterwards and continued after the Malayan independence in 1957. In fact, MAHA 1960 has introduced hibiscus as the national flower of Malaya and since 1963 the national flower of Malaysia. Interestingly, the original MAHA was not only discovered the latest agricultural technology. There were contests, cultural performances and talent shows to attract more people to visit. In 1948, a young talent was recruited by Malay Film Studio exhibitors in MAHA Penang. He was brought to the studio in Jalan Ampas, Singapore and rose his way to the legendary fame, a talent later known as P. Ramlee. I talked about a historic bridge in Perak in the previous video where this steel bridge connected the northern part of Malayan Railway and the rest of the Peninsular Railway network, making the same day journey from Penang to Ipoh possible. If you want to know why, you want to watch more, the link is up here. One of the committee members of MAHA, V.M. Hudson, introduced the animal exhibition that became one of the major attractions of the expo. The temporary animal exhibition in MAHA in 1958 and 1960 has led to the establishment of National Zoo in Hulu Klang, Selangor in the year 1963. Perhaps a coincidence, P. Ramlee moved from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur in 1964 and produced their films at Merdeka Studio just next door with the National Zoo. The zoo and the film star both were discovered at MAHA. When Malaysia started to industrialize, agriculture sector was seen as less lucrative, labor intensive and often associated with low socio-economic status. People start to move to the cities to work in factories and offices that pay more but less intensive than working at the farm. In addition, the appearance of television and increasing affordability of radio makes the large-scale expo less attractive to the masses. You need to pay to buy the ticket to enter the expo, but radio is free to listen and TV is free to watch. The problem is not only hit Maha, the rise of radio and television also contributed to the decline of the cinema. The last Maha was held in 1968 and forgotten as part of the nation's history for 31 years. After the end of the original Maha in 1968, the closest replacement is the Farmers, Herders and Fishermen's Day or HPPN, which was celebrated in the national level and also the state level. However, the scale of HPPN is smaller than the former Maha, as the annual event is primarily targeted towards the people who are working in the agricultural sector. Maha was rejuvenated by another Maha. During HPPN in 1999, Prime Minister at the time Tun Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad relaunched Maha as a biannual expo to promote domestic food and agricultural products. The introduction of Maha happens after Asian financial crisis in 1997 that makes the country rethink of over-reliance of imported food, which caused inflation. Thus, expensive imported food make the price go up and up and up. Maha was rebranded as Malaysian Agricultural, Horticulture and Agro-Tourism Expo, retaining its abbreviation as the former association that organised the original Maha is no longer exists. In 2006, a parcel of land nearby University of Putra, Malaysia was chosen as the site of Maha 2006. The site choice is not purely coincidental. UPM is formerly known as Universiti Pertanian Malaysia of University of Agriculture Malaysia. In addition, the location is located between Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya, Kajang and Puchong, which makes the site located strategically and easy to visit. Unlike today, Maha 2006 was held temporarily in temporary tents as the exhibition was intended to be temporary in nature. It was decided later that the location of Maha 2006 will be the permanent location of the later Maha Expos, including in the year 2024. The site that is today known as Malaysia Agro Exposition Park Serdang or MAEPS. The site that hardly accessible by public transport with infrequent shuttle bus to UPM MRT station and Seredang KTM station. In conjunction with the 100th anniversary of Maha, the scale of the expo is larger than the previous years. The expo is big, really big. There are main halls which showcase the latest technologies, dioramas and lengthy explanations of how agriculture works into the general public. The best way to explain what the farming life is by playing a computer game. We did it, gamers! Other than the local industries, there are international exhibitors as well. US, EU, China and Russia all in just one hall. There are state pavilions as well, showcasing the best of each Malaysian states can offer, food, cultural activities and tourism packages. Dah jadi macam ni. Okay. Ya? Ya, kira-kira. Oh, jalan dia macam ni. Okay. Perlis Pavilion has snakes, Perak Pavilion has a mini zoo and Hungarian langosh, Kedah Pavilion pull the whole night market and Selangor Pavilion has a cozy cafe. Sarawak Pavilion has live sape or traditional guitar performances. Johor Pavilion has rubber tapping activities, a must-try for the new generation. Try rubber tapping and don't just wish to become a YouTuber. State pavilions are a kind of Malaysia's version of the World Expo. I spent a whole day on its opening day and unsuccessfully visited each and every location and activities in Maha 2024. Thus, salute to everyone who can visit all the sites throughout the vast expo in just a single day. Have you visited Maha this year or the previous years? You can comment down below. If you want to visit Maha 2024, the biannual expo is open to public between 11th and 22nd September 2024 in MAEPS Serdang. You can drive to MAEPS via South Klang Valley Expressway or SKVE from Kajang, Putrajaya and Puchong, but beware, parking is limited. By public transport, stop at UPM MRT station or KTM Serdang station and take the shuttle bus to the expo. Attention, shuttle bus system is so confusing and unsystematic without any clear signs, maps and directories. Shuttle bus to the rail station stop at this roundabout and need to ask where the bus is heading to. So unsystematic and improvement is needed in this aspect. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new about Maha and its second life as the National Agricultural Expo. Thank you so much for watching again and see you in the next video.